7 signs God is secretly preparing you for something massive. Have you ever felt like your life is falling apart when God is actually setting everything up? What if I told you that the chaos you're experiencing right now isn't a sign that you're off track, but proof that you're exactly where you need to be? In this video, I'm going to reveal 7 powerful signs that God is secretly preparing you for something far greater than you can imagine. And if even one of these resonates with you, pay close attention, because your breakthrough might be closer than you think. Let's dive in. Sign number 1. Your life feels shaken, but your faith starts to grow stronger. Here's a truth that might surprise you. God doesn't shake your life to destroy you. He shakes it to strengthen you. When everything feels unstable, your job, your relationships, your plans, it's easy to think you're doing something wrong. But what if you're actually in the middle of a divine setup? Hard seasons reveal what you really believe about God. When life is comfortable, it's easy to say you trust Him. But when the ground beneath you starts to shift, that's when your real faith emerges. Think about it. Do you turn toward God or away from Him when things get hard? Your answer reveals everything. And here's the beautiful part. Shifts and loss can be setup, not just setback. That job you lost? It might be redirecting you toward your true calling. That relationship that ended? It could be making space for the right people to enter your life. God isn't removing things from your life to punish you. He's removing what doesn't belong in your next season. When you feel everything shaking, remember, God is building something in you that can't be shaken. And that kind of faith? It's priceless. Sign number 2. You feel a deep restlessness, like you are outgrowing your old life. Have you ever felt like you don't fit in your own life anymore? Like the routines that used to comfort you now feel suffocating? The conversations that once excited you now feel empty. The goals you once chased now feel hollow? If you're nodding your head right now, don't panic. This isn't a crisis. It's a calling. Holy restlessness points you toward a new assignment. That uncomfortable feeling isn't telling you something is wrong with you. It's telling you that God is preparing you for something bigger. You're not losing yourself. You're finding the person God always intended you to be. Old habits and places start to lose their grip. Maybe you don't want to hang out in the same spots anymore. Maybe certain friendships feel draining instead of life-giving. Maybe you're craving deeper conversations, more meaningful work, a stronger spiritual connection. This is what growth feels like. And growth is always uncomfortable before it becomes beautiful. God is expanding your capacity. He's stretching you. He's preparing you for a dimension of purpose you couldn't handle with your old mindset. So if you feel restless, good. It means you're right on schedule. Sign number 3. You notice more spiritual attacks, but also a stronger hunger for God. Let me tell you something the enemy doesn't want you to know. Spiritual warfare often increases right before breakthrough. If you've been experiencing more temptations, more distractions, more doubts, more opposition, it's not because you're losing. It's because the enemy sees what's coming for you, and he's terrified. Why would darkness fight so hard unless there's something powerful about to emerge in your life? A new hunger for God is a sign of inner training. You're not just going through a hard time, you're being trained for a great time. God is building spiritual muscle in you that you'll need for what's ahead. You're praying more. You're seeking Him more. You're hungry for His presence like never before. That's not random. That's preparation. Warriors aren't trained in times of peace. They're trained in the heat of battle. And here's what's beautiful. While the enemy is attacking, God is fortifying. Every prayer is making you stronger. Every time you resist temptation, you're building spiritual endurance. Every moment you choose faith over fear, you're being equipped for the assignment ahead. So don't be discouraged by the battle. Be encouraged, because the size of the attack often reveals the size of your calling. Sign number 4. God starts pruning your relationships and hidden habits. This one can be painful, but it's also one of the most necessary. When God is preparing you for something massive, He starts removing what won't survive in your next season, and that includes people and patterns. Some people fade out of your life so your future can grow. It's not always dramatic. Sometimes people just drift away, and it hurts. You wonder what went wrong. But here's the truth. Not everyone is called to your next level, and that's okay.
God isn't cruel for allowing this. He's kind. He's protecting you from carrying dead weight into a season that requires everything you've got. Old sin patterns get exposed so you can walk in freedom. Maybe habits you thought you had under control suddenly get exposed. Patterns you justified are now causing conviction. Things you used to overlook now bother your spirit. This isn't condemnation, it's preparation. God is cleaning house because He's about to bring something holy into your life. And He loves you too much to let you sabotage it with unresolved issues. The pruning hurts, but it leads to the most beautiful growth you've ever experienced. Sign number 5. Doors start to open that you did not chase or force. Have you noticed something lately? Opportunities are appearing that you didn't hustle for. Connections are forming that you didn't force. Favor is showing up in unexpected places. This is God's signature. Unexpected opportunities match what God has put in your heart. You've been praying for direction, and suddenly a door opens that aligns perfectly with the desires He planted in you. That's not coincidence. That's confirmation. When you stop forcing things and start following peace, God takes over. And His plans are always better than yours. Provision shows up right when you need it. Maybe it's a financial breakthrough at the exact moment you needed it. Maybe it's a person who speaks the exact words you needed to hear. Maybe it's an opportunity that solves a problem you've been praying about. This is how God works. He's never early, never late, always right on time. When God is preparing you for something massive, He doesn't just open doors, He parts seas. He makes ways where there is no way. He does the impossible while you simply walk in obedience. So stop striving, start trusting, and watch Him work. Sign number 6. You sense God asking you to surrender control and trust His timing. This might be the hardest sign to embrace, but it's also the most transformative. God isn't asking for your perfection, He's asking for your surrender. You stop trying to force outcomes and start to rest. You realize you can't manipulate your way into God's will. You can't hustle your way into His promises. You have to let go and let Him lead. And that's terrifying. Because control feels safe, but control is an illusion. Peace is real. God uses waiting to build strength, patience, and character. The waiting isn't wasted. It's working. Every day you trust Him when you don't see results, you're building faith muscles. Every moment you surrender instead of strive, you're being shaped into who you need to be. The process is making you ready for the promise. And here's what you need to know. God's timing is perfect. You might not understand it. You might not like it. But when everything finally comes together, you'll look back and say, that's exactly when it needed to happen. Trust the process. Trust His timing. Trust Him. Sign number 7. Your calling, gifts, and burden for others grow clearer. This is the sign that everything is aligning. You're starting to see it. The pieces are connecting. The vision is getting clearer. You finally understand why you went through what you went through. You notice patterns in how God already uses you. Maybe people keep coming to you with the same kinds of problems. Maybe you keep being placed in situations where your specific gifts are needed. Maybe you're seeing themes emerge in your life that you can't ignore. Pay attention to the patterns. God is speaking through them. A bigger vision for your life starts to take shape. What once felt impossible now feels inevitable. What once seemed like a dream now feels like an assignment. You're not just hoping anymore. You're preparing. You're stepping into who you were created to be. And when this happens, everything changes. Your prayers shift. Your priorities shift. Your entire life reorients around the calling God has placed on your heart. This is the moment you realize God wasn't just preparing something for you. He was preparing you for something. So let me ask you, how many of these signs are showing up in your life right now? If even one resonated with you, I want you to hear this. You are not stuck. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. God is doing something behind the scenes that you can't see yet. But one day, sooner than you think, it's all going to make sense. The shaking, the restlessness, the battles, the pruning, the open doors, the surrender, the clarity. It was all leading here. Something massive is coming, and you're going to be ready. If this video spoke to you, do me a favor. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below telling me which sign resonated with you most. I read every single comment, and I'd love to hear your story. And remember, God's not done with you yet. Your best days are ahead. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep the faith, keep trusting, keep moving forward. You're closer than you think.